Welcome to your favorite Tennessee Titans podcast, Tennessee Titans Weekly. Jacques. We going to the playoffs.
Party time.
We going
party
to the
time.
playoffs.
It's party time.
It's
party time, baby.
Yeah. Hey. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? What is good with everybody? I hope everyone is doing well. Happy New Year to everyone. 2021 is here. The Tennessee Titans just beat the Texans. We're going to the playoffs. Man, so far, 2021 is starting out really good, Jacques.
Definitely. Like you said, we're going to the playoffs, man. I mean, we knew we were going to the playoffs when the Miami Dolphins lost.
Right.
But it was guaranteed then. But we actually did one more important thing. We won the division.
Lockdown. Absolutely.
2008.
Yep.
That was the most important thing to do. And it felt great, and it feels good to win the division. Exactly. I told you, the first thing I said at the beginning of this year, what do the Titans have to do to get in the playoffs? Win the division. I don't care anything you do, win the division. And I'm mad at myself because I won't get to go to the home playoff game because I opted out of the freaking season. I'm so mad, man.
I understand, man. Understood. And I want to take a moment. Me and Jacques talked about this today, man, and we even put this out on Twitter and on Instagram. I want to take a time out to say that I'm proud of the Tennessee Titans, okay? I know folks have talked about their defense. We've talked about them, of course, and rightfully so, right? It's a concern, but, bro, push that to the side just for a second and appreciate what they've done. 11-5, which we did call in the preseason. Me and Jacques both said 11-5 is where we would finish, and that's where we finished. All you got to do is go back, look at the archives. You'll see exactly what we're saying.
We put that video in the description, bro.
Yeah, exactly. Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. We pretty much called the games we would lose to almost to a T. But I want to give a shout out to the Tennessee Titans, man. You know, they fought hard through COVID early in the season. Defense was not really doing well. A lot of injuries. You lose your starting linebacker. You lose your best offensive lineman. AJ Brown had missed some games. A lot of injuries that we've dealt with. And they still overcame all that and won 11 games. We were 5-1 in the division. Mm-hmm. Bro, that's not easy to do. 5-1 in the AFC South, right? 5-1, bro.
Ridiculous, man.
We finished 11-5. Folks, let that sink in and show some appreciation to your Titans, man. Straight up, man. Straight up, bro. Straight up.
I mean, that's facts. Like you said, we harp on them. We analyze them in detail, which rightfully so. But I don't think we give the team enough credit. We haven't even talked about the offensive line. We talk about the offensive line when they mess up, right, when they allow a sack here or there. But big ups to the offensive line, a offensive line that was rotated out a lot, especially at the left tackle position and the right guard position as well, with Saffold going down as well. Hey, you got Derrick Henry 2,027 yards, man, off this line that, remember, supposed to be awful and bad. They did it without Taylor Lewan.
Right.
Hey, big ups to the offensive line. Nate Davis, man, shout out to you for coming in your second year and buckling down.
Yes, sir.
Hey, Dennis Kelly, shout out to you. Yes. Ben Jones, shout out to you. Sam Brullo went down. We know he did. But, hey, Quincy Berry, shout out to you, man. You've had your struggles. I get it. Shout out to you. John New showed me that he can block. Shout out to you.
Yep.
That's right. I mean? So, hey, like you said, this is appreciation. This is appreciation show, man, because – I don't know if we've had anything like this. We had a 1,000-yard receiver, we had a 2,000-yard back, and we had a 4,000-yard a passer. And it includes stats when he ran as well, because I've seen a lot of people say, well, he only had like 3,800 yards. I'm like, that includes, that's just passing yards. We're talking running and everything like that. But to have a balance like that, that's ridiculous, man. Yep. And then a defense that's trash, but they win in the turnover differential.
That's right. That's right.
It's the oddest thing you ever will see is, we get turnovers. We got a turnover this past Sunday. So these cats are balling. Let's continue and keep this motivation going into, of course, the playoffs. We'll get there in a minute, people. But I'm like you, Hawk. I appreciate you guys. This is one of the best Titans teams that we've seen in a long time. This is the best Titans offense we've ever had. Okay?
That's a fact.
Hey, and much respect to the guys with McNair and Eddie and Frank Wycheck and Lorenzo Neal, Derek Mason, Chris Sanders. Just the list goes on. Drew Bennett. much obliged to them, but no, you guys do not compare to this offense that we
Exactly.
have now.
That's
They're
right.
putting up points, something that is a Titans nation we never were, and it's still surreal for us to put up 40, damn near 40 points a game.
Right. Exactly. Yep. That's right, man. That's right. And big shout out to Coach Mike Vrabel.
Yes.
You have made a lot of great calls this year. You're not going to be perfect. People always expect the coach to always be perfect. It's not going to happen. He's going to make mistakes, but he's been more right than wrong, way more than not, right? And Arthur Smith, oh my gosh,
We about to lose him, bro.
man. And we've been saying it, since the preseason, before the season started. I was like, Jacques, we talking about Arthur Smith often, and we both were saying, bro, I don't know if we're going to have him longer than this year. And pretty much every team that has lost their coach are asking to interview Arthur Smith. And they might give him money that he just cannot refuse, and I would understand that. But hopefully we can keep him. But much shout out to Arthur Smith.
Hey.
What a job. What a job. Great job, man.
And
awesome.
Mike Vrabel has already endorsed him. I mean, that's how you do it, man. It's gonna be a hard thing to replace going forward. And also, shout out to this team to have each other's backs.
Yes.
When their backs are against the walls, when the fans are on their neck, when we on their neck, they know, hey, in this room, this locker room, we know we can beat anybody. Yes. We just gotta execute. That's the only thing we gotta do, guys. We got the talent. Just execute. So shout out to them boys, man.
Shout out to them Titan boys, man. Tighten up, man. Tighten up, bro. Cold blue all day, every day. Take everything, man. That's all we bleed around here is that tighten up, man. Blue. That's just to the core. That's just what we do. And we just want to give our appreciation to you guys, man. Straight up. If anyone's watching, we appreciate the effort, man. 11-5. That's not a cakewalk in the park, for real, man.
Right.
So Jacques, man. So we gotta talk about these Texans, bro. We gotta talk about us winning this game by a field goal. As we mentioned in the pregame, we knew this would be a battle because they got number 4 on the field, who actually is the NFL leader this year in passing yards. So shout out to Deshaun Watson. I've told you, Jacques, and I know people might not agree with me because we got the king. But I hate saying this, but I really think maybe Deshaun might be the best player in our division because, one, he's a quarterback, okay? You got to pick a quarterback over a running back, right? He's going to be there for forever, right? He's going to be there for a long time. But at the end of the day, they're not going to the playoffs. They're going to be in Houston listening to some DJ Screw and sitting on a horse and just doing whatever. But we're going to the playoffs. We're here. Let's get it. We beat the Texans at the end of the day. So, Jacques, for you, sir, what were some of the reasons as to why we won against the Houston Texans?
Well, on offense, we do what we do all the time. We go down there, we score quick, we score fast. Henry got off to a nice start. Tannehill was threading them up. Even though CD, man, he dropped a couple of balls, he had opportunities. He was there. It's just I know he had a baby. I know mentally he probably wasn't in this game, but the Titans had already clinched the playoffs before even this game had started. So it could have been a factor. But once you have Derrick running amok, right? You have Tannehill throwing like crazy. AJ's catching. Every time AJ catches the ball, his ankle falls off, and they got to glue his ankle back on. Right. I mean, it was just a good balanced offense. And when I go and look at the defense, it was let me say this: tale of two defenses.
Facts, no paper.
The first half defense, and I can't believe I'm saying this. We got 3 sacks, y'all.
Can't believe it. We got sacks. Like, you got to be kidding me.
We got sacks. I was confused. I was like, where this been at? Literally, I'm like, we getting sacks? Sacks? I mean, we got 15 all year. Now we got 3 sacks. Like in one game against a top-notch quarterback, one of the top quarterbacks in the league. Yep. I'm like, that makes no sense. Now people will be like, well, the offensive line is trash. Well, the Cincinnati Bengals offensive line was trash. Why we couldn't touch Joe Burrow?
Right.
That's strange, right?
Yep.
We got, of course, that's what we do. We get turnovers. Hooker, that doesn't surprise me. He played lights out. But that first half defense is what you want to see.
Yes.
Throughout the playoffs.
Facts.
We were getting stops on third downs. I was amazed. I was like, we got to stop on third down, guys. We got to stop on third down. Like, can you believe this? Right. Like, wow. So when we were playing defense like that, it was like, hey, we got a shot. We went up early in the half, got the ball back. The Titans got relaxed, okay? I think the Titans were playing a stat game, okay, people? We still won the game, but they were playing a stat game. They had to get Henry his 2,000 yards.
Right.
All right. Had to get AJ his 1,000. You got to get Tannehill his yards. And I think the defense was like, well, we already in the playoffs. I mean, they just got relaxed and left them in the game. But, I mean, literally, why would you do that? Right? But, I mean, just the reason we've been winning games, man, it's just a balanced offense. Our offense continues to keep us in these games. And the way Henry's playing, the way Tannehill's playing, we're going to go far. The thing is, the one thing I do like what the league is doing is they're focusing on Henry. Henry had 2,027 yards. Yes. He had 250 yards, dog.
Unbelievable, man.
People, we need a moment of silence.
Yes,
for the king. From 33rd. King Henry.
Yes.
So, hey, 250 yards of rushing, dog. That's 250. AJ Brown, people, 10 receptions for 151 yards.
Yes. Yep.
That's balanced. That's what we expect. Okay, people? That's what we expect. We expect that. And that's why we won the game. Was a balanced offense. Defense, second half, just play like we've been playing all year. Odori's getting beat. Byard, I don't know what Byard was doing. I mean, in that flea flicker, I'm like, Byard, what are you doing? Right, the special teams has to get in the game because special teams could have cost us the game as well on that fake punt. I'm like, hey, you got to pay attention. But just that's the reason, man. Our offense continues to win us these games. And if they continue to do this, people, we will go far. We'll talk about that in a minute. But what about you, Hawk?
Everything you said was on point, dude, like to the core. And, you know, when I look at this game, I think of a number, right?
Oh,
I'm thinking 7.4 for an entire game. What is 7.4, right? In some stats, 7.4 is a great number. Sometimes it's not. In football, as a running back, that's amazing. That was the yards per carry that Derrick Henry had.
No paper.
34 carries, 250 yards. The king was running amok out there, man. And it was nothing Houston can do. And we knew going into the game. Exactly. Let's another moment of silence with Derrick Henry.
22.
Exactly.
The king is here. I need a bell, bro.
Exactly, man. We knew Houston's run defense was just terrible. And it showed. Zach Cunningham leads the league in tackles, a linebacker who went to Vanderbilt, that plays for the Texans, because he has to tackle everybody on every play. The D-line is just really not good. But we won this game. We should have blown them out, okay? And for some reason, we put our foot off the pedal. We had a very good lead, you know, at many points in this game. Next thing you know, Houston was winning. I was like, you got to be kidding me. We couldn't stop them. Brandon Cooks went off. But our offense did just enough, as they're going to have to do in the playoffs, to score enough points to win the ball game. In the playoffs, like, we almost have to mirror what we did on offense. Like, Derrick Henry's going to have 30-some carries. A.J. Brown's going to have 150 yards, and Tannehill's going to have to at least throw 3 touchdowns. He only had 1 touchdown, but Ryan Tannehill had 2 rushing touchdowns, okay? Mm-hmm. So Ryan Tannehill has been running like Lamar Jackson over the past few weeks in running. Right. I mean, Ryan Tannehill's running the ball. I'm like, okay, Tanner Wheels, I see you, bro. I see you. So I think, man, you spoke upon the players. I'm going to give the credit to the offensive line, man, because they controlled J.J. Watt. You heard nothing from him. They controlled the entire defensive line, right? And Derrick Henry was just running free and clear, no one around him, running the ball. A.J. Brown, Ryan Tannehill had enough time to throw the ball. A.J. Brown was eating like Pac-Man out there, right? Just gobbling up everything out on the field, man. I mean, 10 catches, 151 yards receiving. And then the bomb that he threw to him. So I give the credit to the offensive line. Shout out to you guys. Quisenberry, hey, if we don't hear much about you, that means you've done a great job. So great job to the offensive line, not getting a lot of penalties. They have 1 or 2 penalties. I mean, again, that's going to happen. But overall, the offensive line played a hell of a game, man.
Right.
Yep.
Facts, man.
Yep.
Facts. They played a hell of a game. So
yep.
We know there was plays on offense and defense that gets you to that crucial point in the game where either wins you the game or loses you the game.
Yes.
Give me some crucial plays that you've seen on offense and you've seen on defense for this game.
I know I could talk a whole lot about different plays. I can, okay? lot of big plays that happen. But man, I'm going to tell you a play that no one might even just think of. And I know it's like, oh, that's our kicker, Sam Sloman, right? He had 2 field goals. Now, again, we just picked him up from the practice squad, and we knew that special teams could play a vital part in this game, and it did, right? He kicked the game-winning field goal at the very end off the field goal post. Now, how crazy is it that we ended up winning the game on a field goal that hit off the goalpost? Jacques will be back, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. Hold on a second.
There you go.
All right.
Can you hear me?
Yep, I can.
Is that better?
Yeah, it's better. That's better.
Okay.
All right. So when I look at the game, I couldn't believe what I saw in Sam Sloman and kicking the field goal at the end of the game. And by the way, one thing we did not mention is the fact that we were at Willie B's on Sunday watching the game. And we did our pregame, halftime, and postgame show there at Willie B's. It was awesome, okay? Especially towards the end of the game, the crowd was live, man. It was almost like we were at the game. So shout out again to Willie B's. We plan on doing it again on Sunday. The Sloman field goal had the whole crowd losing their mind when it hit off the goalpost, because at first he's like, he missed that? And then I seen Derrick Henry said, he whispered, he made it. I said, he got it. So Sam Sloman's the field goal at the end of the game, because we would have went to overtime, and I don't know if we'd have won this game because Houston had some momentum coming into to overtime. So I'm saying the field goal by Sam Sloman, the 2 field goals he made as a backup kicker, and we know the kicking game has been a struggle for us. So what about for you, bro?
So for me, on offense, I'm going, 10 seconds to go. I think it was 10 seconds. 3 timeouts. We knew that, Tannehill had to do something, right?
Yep.
Threw it up to AJ. AJ got it. Boom. Right?
Yep.
So, to me, that was the crucial play of the game. I mean, to be able to say, hey, throw the ball up, let your playmaker go get it. He got it, right? Couldn't get no better, because then that sets up the winning field goal kick, literally, right?
Yep.
So then I want to give honorable mention to the defense. On defense, the crucial plays of the game, nigga, we got 4 sacks.
4. Facts, no paper.
4 sacks, okay? Let me go down the list here. Desmond King got a sack. He gets a game ball.
Yep.
Harold Landry got a sack. Hey, welcome, Harry. Brooks Reed, caveman Brooks Reed.
Yep. Couldn't even see his last name because of his hair.
Brooks Reed. Brooks Reed. Jack Crawford. Now, let me ask you this, people. Why is Jack Crawford, every time Jack Crawford gets in there, he seems like he gets a sack or he's a playmaker. I know he's kind of old in the tooth, right, but keep that man out there. He got something is different. But on defense, we got sacks and got pressures. People, I know that's the first half of the game, but, I mean, like I said, it was tell the 2 defenses. But for me, on defense, that was my crucial plays of the games on offense and defense.
Gotcha, man. Gotcha. So, Jacques, speaking on that, man, so we got to decide who the player of the game was as to how we beat the Texans. So, for you, who was the player of the game, bro?
Man, so many, dude. I'm going to switch it up. I'm going to go with AJ. AJ's turning into a receiver. He's turning into a receiver. He's turning into our number 1 receiver. 10 receptions for 151 yards, dog.
Yep.
10 receptions for 151 yards. We're going to need that in the playoffs. We can't just ride Henry down to the ground the whole time in the playoffs. We're going to need AJ to step up. We're going to need Corey to step up. We're going to even probably need, if Humphreys can come back, please. I like the kid Westbrook. We're going to need all hands on deck. So for me, player of the game, AJ Brown. What about you? He's only a jersey. I know it.
Y'all see it? Y'all see the jersey? Y'all see it? Y'all see the jersey? Y'all see him? Y'all see the NFL leading rusher 2 years in a row? You see the guy that
future
ran
Hall
over.
Of Famer.
Exactly. Future Hall of Fame.
Hey,
future Hall of Fame.
One more moment of silence.
Yes.
Hey,
so Derrick Henry's got about another year of ball. He's getting there now. He's trying to get there.
Yeah.
This guy here, 22, right? Player of the game, amazing. 3 times he's been over 200 yards rushing. Folks, don't be too spoiled, okay?
Right.
Respect that, appreciate that, because that's not normal, okay? That's not normal. 250 yards rushing in an NFL game, that's not normal, okay? That should be appreciated. We appreciate it. We see what you're doing, King. Put the crown on him. Put it right here, the crown on him, because he deserves that.
Where's some court gestures, man? He needs some court gestures.
Exactly, man. So Derrick Henry, player of the game, he did his thing. Shout out to the King, NFL leading rusher. The Ravens got their hands full. Any team that plays us has their hands full going against Derrick Henry. Their only hope is to keep us off the field. On the field, Derrick Henry's a problem. And I really think he's got some things stored up for the playoffs. I even think he might run harder than what he did against Houston. So, so Derrick Henry definitely the player of the game for me. The King.
Nice.
King me.
The cannons. So Hawk, we got the playoffs. We're in the playoffs. We knew we were in the playoffs when the Dolphins lost, so we were already in, right?
Yes.
We just put the cherry on top of the cake. Let's talk a little bit of playoffs. You're not gonna get in too much.
Yep.
Give them too much of the cake. We're just gonna give them a piece. How do you feel going into the playoffs now since we won the division? We got a little home game coming. You know what I mean? I feel okay with that. But we got a home playoff game. Got a little momentum going into the playoffs, and you playing the Ravens. How do you feel about our chances going to the finish line, man?
So our defense concerns me, ladies and gentlemen. It does. But it's based on who we play. Okay. Right now, we're not seeing Josh Allen. I know we beat him. We beat Buffalo. Buffalo's a different monster. Okay. All right. They're a different monster. Okay. They used to be Chucky. Now they're Freddy Krueger. Okay. 2 different monsters. Okay. You got Patrick Mahomes looking, right? Patrick, they're going to be at home in Kansas City, licking their chops, trying to figure out who they're going to play. We got Lamar Jackson. Okay. Now, is Lamar Jackson a world beater when it comes to throwing the ball? Absolutely not. Right. Has he gotten better? Yes. Has the team improved? Yes, over the last few games. Though they have not really played tough teams, but they've won. Okay, you only can play who you can that's on your schedule. And the Ravens have improved. They are also 11-5. The Ravens have been playing very well since we beat them. I feel very confident in our offense to beat any team in the playoffs. Hear what I just said. Our offense is good enough to beat any team in the playoffs, regardless of who we play. Our defense is the concern, even against the Ravens, okay? I still think we match up very well against the Ravens, and we'll talk more about that. But going into I won't even predict any score or anything right now because we'll do that in our pregame show. But going into the playoffs, not just say the Ravens, against anybody, our defense needs to try to keep the team under 25 points, okay? How can we do well in the playoffs? Derrick Henry's got to average. I know this is going to be crazy what I'm going to say. I hate to say this. Derrick Henry has to put up about 175 yards rushing, and that's not average. I'm telling you. That's what's going to have to happen. He's going to have 25 to 35 carries. I mean, I hate to just run him to the ground, but for the next few games, that's what has to happen. And the offseason, just rest up. But he's got to have 175 yards minimum. I think Ryan Tannehill has to at least throw 2 touchdowns. A.J. Brown or Corey Davis has to have over 100 yards per game, okay? One of them. If both of them make it, that's awesome. But we have to be that balanced, even over-balanced to our defense. We have to sort of, we sort of have to overcome the lack of defense that we have. We got to keep our defense on the bench, and we need to just be methodical on offense. So going into the playoffs, our offense is going to have to super exceed what they did last year for us to win games, keeping our defense on the sideline and doing what we can. So my confidence level in the playoffs coming in is not as strong as it was last year. Even though we're a better team record-wise, I'm about a 6.8 of a confidence level out of 10. What about for you, sir?
So, and great points, Hawk. When I look at what the defense has been able to do, when we go to games, look at the example games. When we beat the Buffalo Bills, defense played lights out. It was a weird game coming off of C19, as you know, we on YouTube. Coming off of that, then you turn around and you look at how they played the first half when we played Deshaun Watson. that scheme that y'all played needs to be played again. Okay, I seen DBs going to rush the passer. I seen linebackers coming up to rush the passer. We're going to need to send the house to rush the passer, right? And you got to depend on your DBs to play one-on-one coverage. It has to be done, right?
Yep.
We play the Ravens. I mean, they have good number 2 receivers. This is what I said, people, number 2s. And Mark Andrews, who's your number 1 receiver. Okay? Same
Who's a tight end?
Mark Andrews?
Yes. Who's a tight end?
Exactly. Yeah, right. Yeah, who's a tight end? Exactly. Right. So when I look at that, I'm like, oh, okay. Go to the Steelers. So if we happen to have to play the Steelers, they got D-Jack, right? Was a problem. Claypool gave us a problem, right? Roethlisberger's going to give us a problem. But like you said, offense is going to have to play lights. And you know what? I think the offense has accepted that. That's why they're able to. That's why they've been balling like they've been balling. Remember last year, we said, "Hey, defense has a swagger to them that the offense don't," and it switched. The offense has a swagger to them that the defense doesn't. Yeah. You know what I mean? They bring the funk every game. I'm like literally like, "Hey, they're bringing the funk. They're bringing the funk. They're bringing the funk." Even when we lost to Cleveland, guys, we almost came back and won the game. Okay. So that's how much confidence I have in our offense. If we get in a rut, if we get in a hole, first of all, if we get in a hole early, don't leave no time on the clock for the Titans because you don't know when they're gonna strike. We can strike. We're like a snake. We're like a rattlesnake. You don't know if we hide on a rock. You don't know if we're gonna bite you here, right?
Yep.
So confidence level going into the playoffs. And last year, I'm gonna say this, Hawk. I know you were more confident going into the playoffs last year. I wasn't. I was. If I had to gauge my confidence level last year going to the playoffs, was probably about a 5 because we were 9-7. We had momentum. We were like, my confidence level now going into the playoffs, just because of our defense is that bad, it's still at a 5. My expectations are low. Okay. Even though we've won the division, we could possibly win the playoff game Sunday. Our defense, if you notice, guys, when we played this past Sunday, we played the Texans, it wasn't where Watson was dinking and dunking. He was killing us 50-yard big plays here, big plays here.
That's no paper, sir. Yeah.
That's when you get into a shootout with Patrick Mahomes, that can happen. Ben Roethlisberger, that can happen. I know we played Phillip Rivers. That can happen with him, too, with T.Y. Hilton coming on. Right. Hell, that can even happen with Lamar Jackson. You let him get open or even let him take off with a big, long run, it's a wrap. Yep. So this defense has to have a come-to-Jesus meeting. I don't know who needs to talk to him. Dean Pease needs to come in here, give him a motivational speak. He needs to come coach, actually. If he could come coach, that'll make my year, right? Yep. But my expectations are the same as they were when we went in last year. Just our offense. If I had to go the offensive route, my expectations on offense are 10 out of 10. Yep. Like you said, we can beat any team. You can put us up. I want the Packers again. I want the Packers without the snow. And we see what a shootout we're going to get into, right? Yep. Don't you think the Titans want the Browns again? Yep. So for me, confidence level is a 5. I mean, it's a 5. Like I said, my expectations are down here because I'm like, hey, keep my expectations down here and concentrate. Every team is 0-0 right now. We're trying to get to 1-0. I said this last year. We're trying to get to 1-0. Let's get to 1-0, and then let's get to the next step, and let's get to 2-0. Let's get to 3-0. My confidence will probably boop up if we get to the AFC Championship. I'm gonna say when we get to the AFC Championship, but if we get to the AFC Championship. But for me, It's a 5, dog, and I'm gonna keep it that way until they prove to me when we play the Texans we play the Ravens Sunday. If we can come out here and firing, if I see some, hey, we here, offense is here, they might go up a notch, like a 5.5. Right. We going here, we got to play again. We'll see what we do with the Bills if we got to play them. So that's me, man.
Understood. Well, ladies and gentlemen, y'all, that ends the show, folks. Thanks again, as always, for watching the show, y'all, as we get ready for the playoffs, man. We are excited, man. Again, thank you for anyone that showed up to Willie B's yesterday. We are planning to be there as well on Sunday at 918 Buchanan Street, Nashville, Tennessee. As well, you can check us out on Instagram at Tennessee Titans Weekly. Also, as well on Twitter at Titans Weekly 24/7. Also, as well on email at Tennessee Titans Weekly at gmail.com. As you can see, the link at the bottom, we are selling merchandise. And I have shown these tights here that I got for my wife. We have had, even at Willie B's, man, we've had a lot of supporters there. We've had a lot of women at our shows, man. We appreciate that as well. So we have merchandise for men and ladies, so it's there. And so yeah, check it out, man. We're also sponsored by Nashville Stain. Nashville Stain, their link is at the bottom as well. When the springtime comes, you need anything outside, any furnishing that needs to be stained, whether it be your deck, your steps, your fences, or anything, give them a call. They'll do it for you, man.
Definitely. And I say this every show, man. We always got to like, share, subscribe. Tell your auntie, your uncle, your dog, your cat. Tell everybody. Also, we're also sponsored by We Vans. Hey, any service that you need, and I know if you have a business, if you have a e-commerce business that you need a website created, they do e-commerce websites, application websites, hosting. We're getting in the cloud server. So if you need anything service-wise and you need anything created on the technical side, holla at We Vans, man. They got you. They're definitely working on some stuff for us. Yeah. And also, hey, we got a game Sunday, guys. Let's get this W. And also, when you subscribe, cut the notification bell on. It's the little bell. This actually looks like a bell. It'll let you know when we go live. I've seen a couple of comments where, hey, they're not getting the videos and the pings and letting them know that we're live. Or if we post any content at all, click your notification bells. It's important. It'll let you know, hey, we out here. Hey, and like the video. The video. It puts us in the YouTube algorithm so you can get more Tennessee Titans weekly content. And people, right. We got more content coming for you in the summer after the season over. So just be looking out. We here.
That's right. And y'all, I'm gonna tell you, y'all, it's gonna be a busy week for us. We just did a show with SZG Sports. That's a Baltimore Ravens podcast. So check that out. It should be uploaded here pretty soon. Again, SZG Sports. We are going to have our live podcast on Thursday. So keep your calendar and your schedule open. We have a treat for you. You know what I mean? We're going to talk Titans Ravens. So just be ready, be available. We also are doing a live show with Titan Upload. So, be on the lookout for that. That should be tomorrow. So check that out as well, too. Hey, it's playoff week, man. It's on. We grinding. Hey, we about to do this, man. And
we here.
Yes, sir. And shout out to some of the Nashville businesses, man, that have checked our podcast out, like 400 Degrees, great hot chicken place, man. Nashville, that's what we're known for. We appreciate that. Thank you for Teron Davenport as well, man, liking our comments and things and stuff like that. So shout out to him too, man. Let's get this win, Jacques.
All right, let's get it, man. Hey, tighten up. And like I said, moment of silence for the king. And we out, people.
Yes, sir.